Hello, my name is Harsharan Dhaliwal. I'm a technical marketing engineer with Cisco, and today I'm going to be talking about how to configure an SSID using WPA3 on a Catalyst 9800 using iOS XE release 17.2. A little bit of background on WPA3. It's a replacement to WPA2 as announced by the Wi-Fi Alliance. There's two operating modes for WPA3, which are WPA3 Personal using 128-bit encryption and WPA3 Enterprise using 192-bit encryption. WPA3 Personal replaces WPA2's pre-shared key PSK element with the simultaneous authentication of equals, or SAE for short, as defined in the IEEE 802.11/2016 standard. SAE still requires the user to provide a passphrase similarly to PSK. However, there's an extra step involved in the handshake process which makes brute force attacks ineffective. Another alternative to SAE for authentication key management is opportunistic wireless encryption, or OWE for short, which is also an extension of IEEE 802.11, and it provides encryption over the wireless medium. The OWE environment is best suited for a network deployment where open or shared PSK-based deployments are deployed. Additionally, OWE transition mode can be enabled, which will enable OWE and non-OWE stations to connect to the same data source simultaneously. With OWE transition mode enabled, when all OWE stations see an AP in OWE transition mode, they will automatically connect with OWE to that AP. So there's a few platforms that WPA3 is supported on: the Catalyst 9115 platform, the Catalyst 9120 platform, as well as the Catalyst 9130 platform. There's also a few restrictions to using WPA3 in this environment. For instance, WPA3 is only supported on these access points mentioned, and it is not supported on any Cisco 802.11ac Wave 1 iOS-based access points. Additionally, IPSK is not supported with the use of SAE. Fast transition is also not supported with WPA3 Personal. It is only supported with WPA3 Enterprise. And also remote LAN is not supported with WPA3. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the demo. Okay, now we're logged into our 9800 wireless controller dashboard on the web UI. And here we're going to go over to configuration and then wireless LANs to add a new SSID. Click add here. We'll give this an example name, an SSID name, applicable wireless LAN ID as usual. And then we're going to go over to security. To enable WPA3 security, we're going to select this option here under the layer 2 security mode for WPA2 plus WPA3 security. MAC filtering can optionally be enabled here. Here down at the bottom we see various options for the WPA parameters, as including authentication key management as well as encryption standards. Right here by default the WPA2 and WPA3 policy boxes are checked, which would indicate that this is operating in mixed mode. If you would like to operate solely with WPA3, then we would want to go ahead and uncheck the WPA2 policy box right here. Here we can see the various authentication key management options. By default, the option for WPA3 Enterprise is selected using 802.1x. Optionally, fast transition can also be enabled with 802.1x by enabling this option down here. If you enable fast transition, then up here at the top of the options, fast transition will need to be enabled. However, fast transition is only available with this option. For all other authentication key management options, fast transition will have to be disabled. So we'll go ahead and do that here to show the other options. Opportunistic wireless encryption is also mentioned as a option for authentication key management. And optionally, transition mode can be configured here by specifying the appropriate transition mode wireless LAN ID in this particular box here. And then SAE is the other option that we mentioned earlier for authentication key management. And here we get a variety of options as well for configuring SAE. on the WPA3 network. Here you get a few options for retransmission and anti-clogging, so you can set different thresholds here. And then here is where we would provide the pre-shared key. As mentioned, SAE still requires users to provide a passphrase, which is what we would enter here. And then that is what the users would enter in order to connect to the network. PMF is going to be required as well for each of these options for WPA3. So we're going to make sure that that's also required here. And then that's it. We've went ahead and created a SSID, and it's using WPA3 security. And in this particular example, we've configured it using SAE and provide a pre-shared key to use with that particular authentication key management method. Now that we've configured our wireless LAN, let's go ahead and verify our client connection here. So once we've went ahead and created our wireless LAN network using WPA3, we'll apply that. And then we can go ahead and connect using an actual wireless client to that wireless SSID that we just created. So in this case, it was WPA3 test. So let's go ahead and connect to that here. And then we would enter in the pre-shared key that we entered previously, and then hit join. And then we are connected to the wireless network. Here on the C9800, we can also go ahead and go over to the wireless client's monitoring page and view the connection info. And from here, we can verify that we are indeed connected using WPA3 wireless security. I hope this is helpful in configuring your WPA3 SSID, and thank you for listening.